organisational structures have become exposed in terms of the critical need to be able to look at people who haven't worked within your industry or sector, but they're at the top of the game within their specialism. Trying to capture the right people. There's a lot more people on the market at the moment for new roles, and it's a very positive thing for businesses.
Today on the Adapt series, we're going to be talking about the recruitment opportunities that the COVID crisis has created for employers with Anna Pak Poy, the CEO of CareerLink and PPL Solutions. Some of the topics we'll be talking about today are the significant increase in job seekers and the opportunities that that's created for employers. Also, the fact that more people seem to be open right now to applying for new jobs and giving consideration to business professionals who are at the top of their game and have transferable skill sets. So please click on the hashtag AdaptSA in this LinkedIn post and click follow to keep up to date with all the latest post-COVID business trends. Well, hi Anna, it is great to have you as part of the Adapt series here today. And I have to say, it was pretty confronting seeing 40,000 people lose their jobs here in 1 week in South Australia at the start of COVID. And if it wasn't for the government's JobKeeper and JobSeeker packages, it seems like that number was just the tip of the iceberg. So now with 3 months on, what insights can you give us about the job market in South Australia now that we're starting to get back to normal?
Yeah, thanks, Brenton. So to begin with, certainly there's been a change in the tide. So since the beginning of May, or since the end of May, we've really seen a big increase in demand. So there's a lot of new roles that are being released, and alongside that, the sense of urgency is a lot greater than what it would normally be. So it's people are coming to agencies like ours to be able to support more and more. So we've seen an increase from our existing clients and a lot of new clients as well, because there are so many applications that are coming through for every role that's posted. But also, trying to capture the right people. There's a lot more open-minded people on the market at the moment for new roles. So it's a great time to be hiring, actually.
Yeah, and I can certainly back that up. Someone I know that's close to me lost their job at the start of COVID and applied for some jobs in supermarkets, and I think it was Woolworths or Coles, and she told me that 30,000 people had applied for the same job. I'm not entirely sure if it was true, but I'm sure there was a huge volume, so evidence of what you're talking about. So based on your experience and what you're seeing in the market at the moment, what are the corporate organisations that you're working with doing to adapt their recruitment strategies right now as a result?
Yeah, so there's quite a few different ways. One of the obvious ones is that they're outsourcing a lot more. So, partnering with agencies. Also to do with interview processes, they're adapting and using VCs, for example, video conferencing a lot more for the interview process, which is something that previously they may have been more inclined to do face-to-faces, which holds the process up because you're relying on the combined availability for hiring managers and human resources, etc. But now they're really, moving forward faster because of these online capabilities, which is great. And they're also a lot more open to offering things like working from home post-COVID, which is obviously an incentive or a benefit that's in line with the expectations of the workforce now as well. So there's this sort of forward thinking and developments which are really helping companies adapt to what they're offering and how fast we can offer it.
Yeah, sure. And based on companies using technology to do their interviews and so forth, are we seeing a greater volume of people from other states applying for jobs in South Australia?
Yeah, that's a good question. So at the moment, applying for jobs, no, not yet. And I think that's because there's been a bit of an unknown previously around the borders. So when we do executive searches, certainly we are still approaching individuals from interstate if they're right for the role. And there's a lot of openness in terms of relocation. What we will find in the months coming up is that actually there will be a return to what the more traditional thinking is in terms of relocating interstate for work.
Sure. Okay. And obviously opportunity comes from crisis. So what opportunities then are you seeing that are emerging based on our COVID situation at the moment?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And obviously I could give you a list of different opportunities. We could be talking forever about this. But first of all, I think, organisational structures have become exposed in terms of the critical need. So for example, if there was a individual or a team that you're very much reliant on for your business's success. So it's made people think about what would happen if those people weren't available or were off the radar for certain reasons. So, I think it's a good opportunity for us to look at how we're future-proofing the talent that we have within our businesses. And also, I think traditionally, as a rule of thumb, there's been sort of it's always the case, no matter what industry, that about 20% of the talent or workforce are actively looking. 60% are actually open to new opportunities, but only if you approach them, and 20% are just closed-minded, so they're happy where they are, they wouldn't move. And now we're seeing that really change, so it's more looking like 40% are actually applying for roles, 50% are open if you approach them, and 10% are just closed off. So that really throws everything on its head, but also opens a lot of opportunities for us to be able to find talent who probably previously wouldn't have been open to new roles and new career moves. And that's really exciting and is a very positive thing for businesses.
So based on your experience, what advice do you have for business leaders then who are looking to make the most of the opportunities from COVID, and how would you suggest they adapt their recruitment strategies?
Yeah, so certainly, there's a lot of talent out there that they may not have considered previously. And, I would say that this has really exposed the need to be able to look at people who haven't worked potentially within your industry or sector, but they're at the top of the game within their specialism, and, being open-minded to bringing these individuals into your teams. Also making sure that, when and this probably applies for the next year or two at least, but when considering someone for an opportunity, not just looking at what their current role is, but actually looking at what their background is as a whole. So when you're scanning through applications, for example, or when you're headhunting people, make sure that you're looking not just at what their current role is, but their full history, because this situation with COVID has meant that people are delving outside of what their previous work history and area of expertise has been, and we need to make sure that we're considering all of that great talent.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because I've noticed some people that I know from the wine industry and marketing move into manufacturing and defense and doing really, really well. So the skill set was obviously transferable. So I guess that opens up a lot more options for employers to look at people who could fill roles that might have been even difficult to fill in the past. So if you're out there and you are an employer and you've got opportunity to employ people, I would strongly suggest reach out to an agency like Anna's, which is CareerLink or PPL Solutions, and get their insights into what can happen in the market and potentially their help to help you find the right person, and be open to employing someone who might have transferable skill sets rather than someone who's exactly qualified for your job, and you could see some magic happen. So Anna, I'd like to end by asking, is there anything else that you'd like to share with us today as we close out this interview?
Yeah, I think, it has been a really tough last few months, and no one's denying that. It's across the board, it's been worrying, but I think now is the time that things are turning. Certainly we're feeling a lot more positive, and I think that overall things, and a lot of businesses, I'm hearing echo these thoughts as well, things are really changing, and I think things are going to get more exciting for everyone, and we're back to a good position, albeit a different position, but we're in a good situation at the moment. So I think, overall, it's looking up.
Great, Anna. Look, great to have you join us, and thank you for those insights. I look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thank you, Brendan.